What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe, no days off DFS, here to bring that NBA slate breakdown for the 4-gamer we got today. After the big, massive slate, of course, yesterday for the Cup games, we got a nice little 4-gamer, a couple of teams on the back end of a back-to-back, but hey, still some money to be made. If I sound a little raspy and stuff like that, I do apologize. A little bit, got sniffles this morning, but money to be made, so we're going to break the stuff down for you guys. Quick recap from last night. Looking at it, my core was Jalen Suggs, Miles McBride, Sadiq Bey, and Diabite. My studs I was heavy on was Karl Anthony Towns. He got there with 60 plus. Giannis took OT, but he got there. Luka, he was pretty good. Tyrese Maxey was mid. James Harden was, of course, the stud to have on the day. Triple-double for your boy James motherfucking Harden, and he killed it out there. And then Şengün almost triple-double. He got close. Denny Avdia, actually, I didn't see what Denny did. Yeah, it was a floor Denny game. Wasn't anything special, but core wasn't bad. Breakdown wasn't bad. You know, for myself, I bubbled. I played Giannis, and then what else did I have? I had someone else that just didn't. Desmond Bane. I would never play that short arm motherfucker again. And I do not ban players. I typically do not ban players. But Desmond Bane officially is banned. I will not play Desmond Bane for the rest of the season. I will not play better prop on his ass. I will not put him into my DFS lineup. Nothing ever again at all whatsoever. And it's crazy. Of course, Miles McBride, Deuce got the start over there for the Knicks, but Landry Shamet went out there and just outscored and just did everything, which would just like, why didn't y'all just start Shamet in the first place, man? You could just start a Shamet. Then, of course, Josh Hart off the bench. He comes in triple doubles as well. New York Knicks, man. Yeah, whatever. All right, looking over here at the injury report for today, we got the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, but that is not on the main slate, or unless maybe on FanDuel, but I'm not going to worry about that because we don't see that one. On DraftKings, we have Toronto taking on the Indiana Pacers. Again, Indiana Pacers, another injury for them. Aaron Nesmith, he is going to be out, something going on with his knee, so that's something for us to pay attention to. They probably are going to slide Ben Shepherd into the starting lineup, so another guard goes down for them over there on that side. OKC taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Lou Dort is questionable with that shoulder thing he's got going on. If he's out, then we're just going to see our boy AJ Mitchell continue to get the start, which honestly to me, I would hold Dort out and just go ahead and still start AJ Mitchell. It's the Charlotte Hornets backing of a back-to-back. Their game went into OT last night. There is no need whatsoever to rush Dort back versus a LaMelo Ball-less like Hornets team. I don't see the need to go ahead and do that at all. So hopefully they think about what I'm saying to them and they do the exact same thing. Right there. And then looking at it on Sunday, we got a nice slate on Sunday, but the Thunder are not even on the front end of a back-to-back or anything. Like, I know Dort probably just wants to play or whatnot, but I wouldn't play him. That would just personally be me. But over here on the Charlotte Hornets side of things, Ryan was out yesterday, personal reasons, so we got Diabite getting the start. If he's still out, then Diabite should still start again, but this is not a great spot for centers going up against Thunder. Los Angeles Fakers took it on the Milwaukee Bucks. Both of these teams are on the back end of a back-to-back. Same thing, Charlotte Hornets on the back end of a back-to-back. LeBron James supposedly with the G League right now, so he's going to be back soon in Milwaukee. Pay attention to some questionable tags. Maybe Giannis will be out. Maybe he'll still be in. Again, it was an OT game, so we got to pay attention to something. And then Kyle Kuzma, please go fuck yourself. How the hell we played you the other day with Giannis out? Could barely hit the backside of a barn. Then last night you dropped 60 plus fantasy points with Giannis out there on the court. I really hate you so much. I hate you. I really do. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me right there. Denver Nuggets taking on the Minnesota Timberpups. Shannon's out for them. The Minnesota Timberpups are on the back end of a back-to-back themselves. On the Denver side of things, Christian Braun, he's going to be out, so we might get Tim Hardaway Jr. or Bruce Brown. One of those two guys are going to be slid into the starting lineup right there. And then the Joker, he is listed as questionable himself as well, so definitely something for us to pay attention to. If the Joker is out, then man, Jonas Valanciunas is going to be getting a start, and that's not a bad issue to have on today's slate. Heading on over to DraftKings, the site play the most on the site. If you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. And subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the content. Let me know down in the comment section anything that you guys want to see me change, add, switch up, or whatnot. And drop a like on the video. It helps your boy out. It helps the channel grow. And honestly, it's free. All right, OKC. Taking on the Charlotte Hornets, we already know Shea is Shea, 10-7. This should be an easy cakewalk spot. Another game where I expect for him to be able to sit in the sit in the fourth quarter. We know he's been pretty consistent. He's got a 20-point streak going on, so you at least know he's going to get you about 20, 25 points. The added playmaking that he's been doing over the last several games, that's been a really big plus, and it's kind of helped solidify his floor. I think at least 40, 45 fantasy points, if it's not a crazy, playmaking game or anything like that for him. But definitely the upside could be there for Shea if which I highly doubt the Hornets keep this game close at all. I really do. Chet Holmgren, 7,500. Definitely don't mind going to our boy Chet. Just got to hope that, again, he can play the minutes. The upside is there. It's a good matchup for him. Miles Bridges, not scared of that defense at all. This could be one of those spots where he can go out here and actually dominate it for us, especially if his shot is on. He's coming off a couple days of rest. I mean, we did just see Giannis go out here, 64.75 fantasy points out here. If he's able to snag the rebounds, that could also be an upside for him as well. If you don't want to mess with Chet, then of course Isaiah Hartenstein. Granted, he has come back down to earth these last 2 games with Chet being back out there. So, and of course, again, not having to play heavy minutes. That's just been the issue with the Thunder players. We're not playing the minutes because games have been blowouts and stuff like that for us. But don't mind either one of our bigs. I do think Chet, this could be an upside spot, especially if his shot is falling pretty good. This will be one of those. AJ Mitchell, I have a lot of interest if Lu Dort is out, because then he will go ahead and continue to start. And I do think this would be a great spot where he can continue what he's been doing. And then even if the game was to blow out, he'll still be out there for at least a little bit of extra run, unlike Chet, unlike Hartenstein, unlike Shea. So I do think the upside could be there for him, but I need Dort to be out to really feel comfortable going to AJ Mitchell and taking that right there. Kaysen, he's starting, he's still out there. This could be one of those games where he can actually rack up another 4 or 5 steals, but just got to actually hope that the scoring is there as well. Definitely a mid-tier option, but when I have Bruce Brown, I got Tim Hardaway Jr. on the slate. I really kind of don't see my need to go to that as a value guard on today. Isaiah Joe, this could be one of those spots where he actually pops just because he's going to be out there getting the burn and run and just shooting, because that's all he has to go out there and do. And then J-Dub and Usman Jang, both of these guys, and Brandon Carson. The game blows out, these guys are going to be out there on the court. These would be the guys that I probably want to mess with. And the same thing for Barnhides or Youngblood. That's if you're saying blowout. On the Charlotte Hornets side of things, I honestly don't like anybody. You're going up against the best defense in the league. You're coming off the back end of a back-to-back. You played OT. To me, everybody is a straight-up X. I really do not see myself getting anybody, especially if LaMelo Ball is out. I just think this just makes his team even worse. Now, the only player that I could see myself getting to, which I have to recant what I just said, would be our boy, Trey Mann. Because why? He used to play for the Thunder, and he doesn't mind getting up to play going up against his former team. We loved him when he was here. It really just sucked. We wanted him to be able to spread his wings and be able to actually do more. And you're actually seeing that over here on the Charlotte Hornets, and he looks pretty good for what he's been able to do over there for them. I know he should be able to get up for this game, so I wouldn't mind if you were making multiple lines, maybe taking a Trey Mann would be someone I would be interested in. Outside of that, I honestly have no interest in anybody over there for that team. Toronto Raptors taking on the Indiana Pacers. Scotty Barnes has been Scotty Barnes. I saw a post the other day, which I meant to make a short about this, about Scotty Barnes being the best player from his draft. I got some takes on that, but I'm going to save that for another day. But Scotty, 8,700, he's going to be over 9K soon, especially if he keeps up the production that he's been doing, the rebounding, the assists, the defense, the scoring, all that stuff. He will be over 9K soon, so we can definitely ride the train while he's still below that. 8,700, I do not mind that. But if we want to drop down to the other two guys that kind of have fallen off a little bit in regards to pricing, because all these guys used to be close in their pricing, really close. Now Scotty's just completely taking the league. BI, we know he's going to be out there scoring. He's showing the peripheral stats out there. Pretty shitty scoring night over here going up against Cleveland Cavaliers, but we know what he actually is capable of doing. And I don't mind it taking here up against the Indiana Pacers as a bounce back spot, a buy low spot, especially if everyone's flocking to Scotty Barnes. I can just drop down here and get BI instead for the value. Same thing for RJ Barrett, back to back, just very mid games for him. I'm not really going to have to worry about the defensive juggernauts or not even juggernauts in regards to defense, but the crazy defense that the Pacers have once had before, especially with Nesmith being out there. I really do feel like their defense takes a huge hit without them being out there. So definitely don't mind BI or RJ Barrett. Both of those guys are definitely in play. We just got to hope that the Pacers can keep the game close. They have not looked great at all this season, and it sucks. Iman quickly. Dude's been pretty consistent over the last couple of games. One of the spots that you actually can't attack the Indiana Pacers is with opposing guards. And I do like the upside for Iman quickly here. We just saw D-Book just drop 50 plus fantasy points on the heads. If his playmaking can still be there and he can still score at the clip that he is scoring at, especially with these threes, his upside is going to be there. 7K is not a bad price tag to pay for that at all. The cheapest one that I definitely think you can get to, especially if CMB is going to be out over here, Jakob Poeltl, man. He's playing some pretty decent minutes over here. Opposing centers going up against the Indiana Pacers have actually looked pretty decent. I mean, if Nick Claxton go out there and drop me 51 fantasy points, why can't Jakob Poeltl do the same? So I do like the upside for Jakob Poeltl. I could definitely mess with that right there. If you think the game gets out of hand, Shaheed, again, he's been playing some pretty solid minutes and playmaking very well. You can mess with that. If CMB gets ruled out, then we know High Luke, he will get some burn and run. He will be out there getting those backup minutes for Jakob Poeltl, and that's a GPP pivot option you can get to right there. Indiana Pacers side of things, man, it just really sucks for all the injuries, everything that they continue to deal with, but they're drawing the short end of the stick. Nembhard 6,800. Definitely do not mind going to Nemby. Again, I'll say it. He's playing a really great role. It's just the games have been blown out and he's just not out there in the fourth quarter, really. I will go right back there. It just sucks that the price, for whatever reason, continues to go up, even though he's not. So obviously, DraftKings is seeing what I'm seeing. They know that Nembhard should be priced higher because if we actually look at his trajectory of what he should be playing, the dude should be up there in these prices, but he has not gotten to get there because of the blowouts and stuff like that, foul trouble, whatever, whatnot. But Nembhard, Pascal Siakam, both these guys, the main two guys that you want to get to over here. Siakam, it's an okay spot. I don't mind it, especially if they're going to still start Tony Bradley and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. You have Siakam at the 3. He could possibly take advantage of it. And then, of course, we know he is playing up against his former team. So, yes, you can definitely mess with Siakam here. I will say instead, though, Jeremiah Robinson Earl at 4,300. There's not too much value on the slate, and a slate that has Joker on it and SGA. We do have to find some value. If they're going to continue to start Jerry, I definitely will go there. He played 27 minutes last time. He should still be on his 10-day contract, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, he signed the second 10-day contract. That was on the 11th. So yeah, he still has time on his 10-day contract. I like him for value, and I will go ahead and take that. They are starting Tony Bradley. He is out there. He looked okay at the start of that game. Like it was going to be a really crazy Tony Bradley game, but then Solon played 17 minutes. So very, very deep GPP option. Not anything that's super crazy that you want to run and get to. Ben Shepherd, he more likely is going to get the start for Aaron Nesmith since he's going to be out. You can mess with that if you want to, but I would just say TJ McConnell, the minutes are slowly going to start to tick up. We know he's a great fantasy per minute player, GPP option if you're making multiple lines. Los Angeles Fakers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Both of these teams on the back end of back-to-back, and both of them played some pretty decent minutes. I will say I'm not too sure how I feel about going over here to them. Luka is Luka. Luka last night, he played 40 minutes. We know he's got the upside any night that he's on the court. You definitely, of course, mess with that. AR, if you want to just get a cheaper Luka, you want to get Walmart brand Luka, definitely come down here to AR. He's there. We know both these guys lead the team in uses, the shots, everything. DeAndre Ayton, for whatever reason, decided that, hey, I want to pop my shit last night. And played great. Again, doesn't make sense to me sometimes with these guys. But Ayton, he's here. Opposing centers going up against the Bucks. It's not a bad spot. We just see DB and Ryan go out here. Both the centers for the Charlotte Hornets have some pretty decent days. I'm not too sure if I want to actually trust DeAndre Ayton to be able to go out here and do that again. But he's there for you. Marcus Smart, though, pretty good value. Of course, he's starting. He's playing some pretty solid minutes. We know he can get some defensive stops. And, I mean, the dude used to be a former point guard over there for Boston Celtics and then for the Memphis Grizzlies and stuff. I know that he, and for the Washington Wizards, we know he can facilitate. We know he can do some things. And if he's knocking down 3-ball, 1 of 10 from 3 is not going to cut it. But if he's knocking down 3-ball, it could be even better day for him. So definitely don't mind looking at Marcus Smart as a potential option for some value over here on today's slate. If you think since they are on the back end of back-to-back, then Dawson Connect, Jake LaRavia, those are going to be some guys that we want to look to as well as potential options to play on the slate. Milwaukee Bucks on their side of things. Giannis, we know Giannis is Giannis. Really, I don't know what the heck the Lakers are going to be able to do, honestly, to stop Giannis. The only thing that I think personally stops Giannis is Giannis itself, and then, of course, the heavy minutes that he played yesterday. That's the only thing that I think can truly actually slow him down. Outside of that, if I'm not going to play Giannis, then Rollins is going to be, of course, a guy I want to go to. Again, his usage is right there, right behind Giannis. Upside is really great. I like it, love it, don't mind it at all. Of course, if you want to go with the narrative that, oh, Kyle Kuzma is playing his former team. He just dropped 60 last night. Look at the double-double, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't give a damn about that. Kyle Kuzma is Kyle Kuzma. I do not trust him at all. He barely has any type of consistency, and this is not like personal feelings. This is like legit real. It's very hard to trust Kyle Kuzma. I just explained it. So Kyle Kuzma 5,400. If you want to mess with that, definitely, of course, go there. That's by all means, go ahead and play Kyle Kuzma. But outside of that, maybe we could see a couple more minutes for Bobby Portis since it is the back end of a back-to-back and they did play heavy minutes last night. I don't mind him as a GPP option right there. Miles Turner, we know that he's kind of figured it out over there for him. For them, he's a decent, okay play, especially with his ability to stretch the floor. We know Ayton is not comfortable in those type of things, and the stretch bigs have actually done okay going up against Los Angeles Lakers. It has not been the bigs that play inside the paint. Cole Anthony, Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green. AJ Green would be like the bottom where I would go to over here, especially just because his shooting. And of course, he's just value on today's slate. Like I just see him as he is the value option that we should be able to get to. All right. Denver taking on the Minnesota Timberpups. For me, Jamal Murray, of course, with no Chris Bobby out there, usage, the rebounding probably could be a little bit better for him as well. Definitely do not mind that, especially if the Joker's ruled out. Then, of course, we're playing like at least 2 or 3 Nuggets. Just the usage that he himself has is a big thing. He's questionable for his wrist. He's been dealing with a wrist sprain, put him in danger of missing his first game of the season. The big superstar contests his wrist during blah, blah, blah. of course, we're not going to necessarily know that because that is the later game of the slate. So either you're going to play for Joker playing, or you're going to have an alternate to be able to swap. Luckily for us, two of the other big studs that you can get to if you put the Joker in the util spot, they're right there, not too far off of what Joker's price is, and that you should be able to still have a pretty comfortable lineup if you play it and you backload it like that for it. So definitely don't mind Joker, of course. 6,800. I mean, 12-8. No one can stop the Joker. The dude's on a tear this season. If anyone decides that they want to go out there and just say, hey, you know what, we're going to stop you from playmaking, he's going to go out there and drop 55 on your head. He ain't worried about having to play make. He can go out there and score and do it at will. Jamal Murray, definitely don't mind taking him right there. But with Christian Braun being out, this is really where I want to look at the value. Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, both these guys should see an uptick in regards to the minutes, their usage, and everything being out there on the court. Tim Hardaway Jr. has actually been playing some pretty solid rotation minutes anyway. Bruce Brown, they've been there, but he's been just very much a mixing pot in regards to what you can get from him. Whoever gets to start, I like them as the value option. Right now, sites have Tim Hardaway Jr. projected as the starter, but hopefully throughout the day, we'll get some actual notice or whatnot is going to go on with that. If the Joker's out, then I don't really have to talk too much about it, but Jonas Valanciunas, he's a really great fantasy point per minute producer when he's on the court, and when he can stay himself out of foul trouble, he plays really, really well. And I don't mind the upside for him on today's slate. Minnesota Timberwolves, again, they are on the back end of a back-to-back going up against the Denver Nuggets. Anthony Edwards is in 8,800. I'm surprised that he's still this cheap. Really surprised that he missed pretty much every single three that he took. I took him to hit 4 threes last night, and of course, doesn't get not one. Well, he got one, but hey, it is what it is. But Ant-Man is Ant-Man. Definitely, of course, you can mess with that. Julius Randle going to be dealing with that Aaron defense. So don't mind pivoting off of them and going right down here to our boy Jaden McDaniels. Left the game early last night with a little bit of laceration, something like that. Came back, but he still played 31 minutes. Don't mind the upside for Jaden McDaniels if you want to get a pivot off of Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards, who should get a lot of defensive attention. And then Dante DiVincenzo kind of going underneath the radar. 20 points last night, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. This was the guy I should have took to hit the threes last night, but I didn't. Of course. All right. That's going to really do it for me. Really not too much to talk about over here on the Minnesota Timberwolves side, and this video has already gone long enough. I can never make a short one whenever I try. Looking at a lineup that I would say for tonight, if you are building over here on it, of course, our stud, we're going to go, of course, with none other than the Joker. Again, I said you could put him in the util spot if you were worried about him playing on the back-to-back. And then, again, Tim Hardaway Jr., I do expect for him to get the start. Currently, right now, just from what is projected for me on these sites, I like the upside for him. And then, of course, with the Joker being 12-8, we need more value because I want to be able to fit a secondary stud or something like that into this line. So, looking at it real quick, we'll go to Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. Long as he's starting, he's 4,300. Definitely can slide right into that spot right there. It makes sense. Good upside, and I definitely do not mind taking that right there. And then last but not least, let's see, do we want to go, do I want to give you guys mid-tier stud or go with another value option? We could, you know what, we'll go with another value option. I did like what I saw for Marcus Smart, 4,900, good spot, and boom, there you go, 6K. You could definitely still fit in another 8K player into this spot, into this line, and it gives you either the guards, the guard forward, whatever, and you can be able to build a pretty decent line using this score right here. Good luck to anybody if you guys do use it. Actual core will be posted on Patreon close to the lock after we get any injury news and stuff that comes out. Good luck to everybody. It's Saturday. Go outside, touch some grass. You guys know what it is. Peace.